Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Director Ash and Solicitor Tompkins, for being here. Prior to coming here to Congress, I served as a courtroom trial attorney for 26 years. I understand the importance of thorough responses to subpoenas, and I also believe in the transparency of government. I think it's an essential part of our democracy. This committee is responsible for ensuring that the legislation that we enact is properly enacted by the implemented by the administration. Over the past year and a half, the chairman has requested information of and subpoenaed the Department of Fish and Wildlife on numerous occasions. It's my understanding the department has gone to extraordinary lengths to comply with these requests, providing this committee with over 5,500 documents totaling more than 60,000 pages at a cost of over $2 million to the American taxpayer. I do applaud the department's attempt to comply with the chairman's requests to the utmost of your abilities. Timely and thorough responses to information requests are essential to Congress's ability to conduct our oversight responsibilities. But I am concerned with the cost of all of this. The cost of compliance, given the agencies have already severely constrained budgets. We have to carefully weigh the costs and benefits of these investigations and make sure that we're not wasting taxpayer money. I do agree wholeheartedly with my colleague, Mr. Huffman, when he says this is all about optics. You know, Americans are sick and tired of the inaction in the United States House of Representatives, and a big part of what we're doing that leads to this inaction is the drumming up of phony scandals. And it's only fitting that we have the Director of the Fish and Wildlife Service here, because fishing expeditions are what we're talking about here today. And I do have some questions. Ms. Tompkins, for you first. Our ranking member has listed at 34,000 as the number of hours spent by Department of Interior personnel responding to the majority's document demands. 34,000 hours by federal employees. Is that more or less correct?
It is an estimate, but it is our best estimate of the time it's spent that we've had to devote to this undertaking, yes. And if I may add, it doesn't include a lot of the other hours for interviews and meetings up here with members of the committee, briefings that we've provided as well, and hearing preparation.
And you, Director Ash, you've produced more than 11,000 pages of documents to this committee on the service's enforcement of migratory bird and eagle protections. Have you made every effort to comply with the chairman's subpoena?
We have made extraordinary effort, and we continue to work with the committee, and we have offered our continuing cooperation to try to better refine the committee's need for information and see if we can be more responsive.
Good. And you've provided summaries of case files for migratory bird and eagle investigations instead of the entire contents of some of the files. Did you do this because you're trying to hide something?
No, we did that to, again, try to give the committee a kind of sense for what the substance of a file would be, so that, again, they could further refine questions and we could provide more specific information.
And I understand you're willing to provide in-camera review of full case files if the committee expresses an interest in that. Has the committee majority asked for an in-camera review of any of the full case files?
To my knowledge, they have not.
Okay. But if they did, you'd be willing to work with them?
We have offered complete access to all closed law enforcement files.
Now, you've also provided data on enforcement actions involving migratory bird and eagle protections. The majority here has alleged that you're engaging in preferential enforcement in favor of the wind industry, but the data would indicate that proportionally you're actually pursuing more cases against the wind industry. Has that data been doctored in some way? Am I missing something?
No, sir, you're not missing anything. I did the quick math, last night when I was sitting there. We're currently investigating 21 cases against the oil and gas industry, based on the number of oil and gas wells and the number of wind turbines. If we were taking a proportionate approach, we would be investigating a little more than one case for the wind industry. We're actually investigating 17 cases. And so, and that's not preferential. I mean, the wind industry is a newly emerging industry on the landscape, and so it's appropriate for us to be working with the industry to try to find out, how they're complying, and when they're not complying, work with them. And so this is not any kind of preferential enforcement, but our people do follow the facts, and we are working cooperatively with the wind industry. We have actually a very good relationship with the wind industry. We've developed voluntary guidelines with the wind industry. So I think we are doing exactly what the Congress and the law would ask us to do.
Well, I thank you
Time
for
the
that,
gentleman
Director
has-
Ash, and I'll yield back.
Time of the gentleman has expired.